So if you're anything like me, you know getting rejected isn't one of those things that feels that great. I feel like it's one of those things that a lot of us try to avoid in a way, or kind of wear it like as a badge of shame if it has happened to us, instead of wearing it as a badge of honor. But I want to kind of tell you a little bit of a perspective that kind of made me shift my whole thought process whenever the thought of rejection or the topic of rejection is talked about, or when it happens. So like, I've always been a person where I like to be nice to people. I like to be around. I like to make new friends and stuff like that. And when I was younger, I always used to think that if I'm nice to everyone, then everyone's just going to be my friend. You know what I'm saying? And growing up, as I went to like pre-K and like elementary school, like that was okay. But once I got to middle school and high school, that was one of those things I kind of had to battle with, right? That was my first situation, or first couple of times where I had to deal with people not necessarily liking me even when I didn't do anything to them, right? So it was that automatic feeling of rejection, because I was like, man, what's going on? And like, these couple experiences were pretty shameful. Like, I didn't really want to show my face, didn't really want to make new friends or stuff like that. But you have to realize and understand, whether it's friendships, relationships, job, whatever it is, anything under the sun, bro, your rejection is God's protection. And I know a couple of y'all probably heard that like I have, but I didn't really understand the significance of that idea and how true it is until I really just started to get into like my duffel with like my relationship with God. Especially, like I said, when I started to grow up, high school, especially in college and stuff like that, going through like relationships, situationships, whatever you want to call it, like rejection does not feel good. And the thing is, it's not supposed to feel good. One thing I've come to realize is that rejection is supposed to build your character so that you can ultimately get to that person that you actually really want to become, right? Because temporary rejection, it will actually make you second guess your entire path for what you're wanting to do and who you're wanting to become. Because it's just like, man, when you have your whole head locked in on an idea of like this person being who you see them to be and not actually who they truly are to you, you know what I mean? Or this certain situation or a job, you're like, ah, man, this is my dream job. It's really hard for our minds to not understand that, yo, this is just a building block for you to get to where you want to go. This isn't the end all be all, because if this was the end all be all, you would have had a lot more clarity and a lot more knowledge on how everything's supposed to work now, but you don't. That's why you had to get rejected. This had to go not necessarily the way that you thought it was going to go, right? Because it really puts you to the test. Like, if there was something bigger, which there is, are you actually going to be able to live up to the challenges that come with that, right? And to me, in my opinion, that's where rejection truly sets in. The thing is, when you actually start to embrace rejection instead of trying to run away from it, I feel like that's when you get closer to getting where you want to go, right? Because rejection, nobody wants to feel rejected. Nobody wants to feel not wanted. Nobody really wants to feel that. If you do, hey, more power to you. But me personally, I don't really like the feeling, or didn't, until I kind of came to this realization. So you have to kind of start to wear that rejection as a badge of honor. Be like, all right, that kind of hurt, but I had to take it to the chin. You know what I mean? If I'm not taking this to the chin, if I'm just like throwing in the towel right here, then I really don't want what I say that I want. You know what I'm saying? So like, you have to start looking long-term instead of short-term. And that's really hard to do, especially when the things in front of you look like they're even bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, they are a test, because the thing that you really want are levels and levels higher than that. So if you can't even do this small step that you feel like is so big, bro, I'm not gonna say you're cooked, but like, you gotta lock in. You need to be grateful that that rejection happened. You see how like you feeling embarrassed and sad right now? Bro, imagine if you would have stayed. Dog, I'm telling you, whatever you got rejected by, a girl, a dude, a job, a friend, whatever it is, bro, it would have cooked you by now. Probably wouldn't be able to recognize you. Now, on the real point though, to reel this into why I have a better understanding of this, God said that when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. So instead of you stressing and worrying about things that look so much bigger than you, and instead of stressing about, oh man, this rejection hurt, I thought she was the one, I thought he was the one, I thought this job was going to give me so, like all of this stuff, bro. You have to understand, long term, this is good for you. Short term is not going to feel good, but really and honestly, be very introspective and step out of your emotions for a little bit. Are you going to let this little hump in the road deter you from what is so much bigger and so much better for you in the future? I would hope you say no, right? So if that makes sense to you, congratulations. you have gotten rejected. And the fact that you're aware that you're already taking a step in the right direction. So that's basically all I wanted to talk about today. I appreciate all the love and support that y'all give me. And as I say in every single one of my videos, I know this from my personal experience, because I know if it's been able to help me, then it will definitely be able to help you too. So I appreciate y'all. You'll have a good one. God loves you, and I love you too. And I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.